So hello again, vinyl community, and it's Bill of Bill Vinylists here to respond to Richard McCook's challenge for girls' names that appear in a song title in alphabetical order, and they need to be also on the website, which is whattoexpect.com. So I think I've done my homework. We'll see. I think I've got one dodgy one, but we'll see as things go along. And for some, so for two letters, I'm going to show you two alternatives, one which I think is allowable and one which I think is a bit iffy. So let's start with A, and this is from a CD of Charlie Parker, and the first track on side 2 is Blues for Alice. And then for B, we've got the Beach Boys, 20 Golden Greats, and Barbara Ann. C, I'm going for a royal name here. This is from The Art of Noise, and they do a song called Camilla, the Old Story. So that's C. And then I think this one's been shown before. This is from the greatest hits of 10cc. And we've got below Rubber Bullets, we've got Donna. Then moving to CD again for the letter E. And this is from the great Allman Brothers Band Fillmore Concerts. And for E, we have In Memory of Elizabeth Reed. Richard, yeah, I'm not sure if I should be applying to the Court of Human Rights in The Hague, or as someone else described him as setting this challenge and he's turning into a Bond villain. But he knew, he put my name out in the 5 names that were mentioned and he reeled me in. So he knew I couldn't resist. So next up for F, we've got Keep the Faith from Bon Jovi. And after F, we've got G. And this was one that Richard mentioned. He went for Gloria by a different band, but I'm going with Gloria by Them. And then I think there was a Wings song called Helen Wheels, but I don't have that. And so I'm having to go with the David Bowie, Space Oddity, and Letter to Hermione. So that's the same as Richard showed. I. Not A-Y-E as the word for yes in Scotland, but this time I'm going with Dido and No Angel, and track number 9 is Isabel. That's also the name of one of my aunts, so that's I for Isabel. And then one of my favorite bands, the White Stripes, and Dolly Parton song, Jolene. And this is where I've got 2 options here. So we've got the Blues Brothers, and the song here is She Caught the Katy, K-A-T-Y. Think that was not on the list. Katie, K-A-T-I-E, was on the list. And this one was on the list, and not a girl's name that I've ever heard before, but I'm going with Culture Club and their album Color by Numbers, and the great hit single, Karma Chameleon. I think that got to number 1, didn't it? So Boy George, John Moss, Mickey Craig and Roy Hay, and Karma Chameleon. Then, not sure if people out there know about this guy, Bill Doggett. He had a great, I think, instrumental hit in the 50s, in 1956, called Honky Tonk. But on this sort of greatest hits album, we have Sweet Lorraine. Sweet Lorraine. So that's K. Then, no, that was L. What are you doing to me, Richard? L. M is next, and a classic album cover from Big Brother and a Holding Company, and R. Crumb illustration, Janis Joplin's band, and Janis sings a song called Oh Sweet Mary. Oh Sweet Mary for M. N, going with a classic from the poet of rock and roll, Chuck Berry, and of course it's Nadine, or Nadine. O, now I'm not sure who the actual singer is or band is, unless it is the band, but this is from The Last Waltz. And of course there were various guest artists on it. So they had Down South in New Orleans with Bobby Charles. And the next track is called Ophelia. So that's O for Ophelia. Then moving swiftly on to P, and we've got a classic from the punk, P for punk, and it's Ian Dury and Plasto Patricia. So that's P. Q, I think there's a common theme in all these entries, so I'm not deviating from that, but I've got Jerry Lee Lewis doing Little Queenie, which is, of course, the Chuck Berry number. And R, this was one of the first ladies' names that I thought of for this challenge, and of course, one of the best live albums of all time. And it is AC/DC and Whole Lot of Rosie. A great track that is. And then S, we've got The Who from Tommy and Sally Simpson. And then T, I was going to go with a track from the Hamilton musical soundtrack, and it was called something like Dear Theodosia. So it's obviously a name that was very current or top of the charts for popular names in sort of 1790 or so. But I didn't find that on the list. So let's go with this one instead. And Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark and Tesla Girls. So according to that website, Tesla is a girl's name. And then this is one of the iffy ones. I'm not sure if I can find it here. So it's from Songs in the Key of Life. And it's like, I can't even pronounce it. It's Neguela es una historia. So una, from that track that I can't pronounce the name of, is I think it was Cliff Richard's girlfriend in Summer Holiday was Una Stubbs. So I'm going for Una. But here, of course, it means or one. So that's U. And then V is an important name for me because that's my wife's name, and I'm going for the Zootons version of Valerie. But of course, the Monkees did a version with Valerie spelt with a Y instead of IE. And Steve Winwood has done Valerie. And of course, Amy Winehouse did a great cover of that Zootons number. So that was V. Next, we've got W. And this is from my Phonotone box, the cigar box compilation, Phonotone Records. And it's been a very good resource for all these very difficult Richard McCook challenges. But this is from disc 1, Jug in the Shade, and the third track by somebody called Blind Thomas is Wanda Russell's Blues. I did think about Wendy by the Beach Boys, but I don't have it in the collection. And so that's W, X. Now, so X is one that I'm going to have to plea with Richard maybe. So when I looked up the website, I found Xander, Xander was the girl's name. So I think Richard said it had to be contained in the name of the song. So I'm going with, from Benny Goodman and his big band's King of Swing archive, I've got Alexander's Ragtime Band. So you all know that that famous show tune, I think. And so if we take ALE, the ale out of in front of Alexander's Ragtime Band, we get Xander. So please, Richard, please be lenient. So that's, yeah, a bit iffy. So that's X, and then Y. Not sure if anybody's shown this yet. There's a couple of ones here. This is from John and Yoko's Double Fantasy. And one of the tracks is Dear Yoko. And of course, on Beatles albums, you've got the Ballad of John and Yoko. So that's Y. And then Z, and I have to thank Pete from Sounds from the West Coast for this one. It sort of tipped me off. So he went with Zion, and I'm going with Zion again, but I'm going from Handel's Messiah, and the track is, well, I think there's a couple of tracks here, but the one I'll go with is Rejoice Greatly, O Daughter of Zion. So thank you, Richard. You should take a few months off before setting any more of these challenges, but you know how to get me hooked right in. So thanks for that. Have a great weekend, and that's it from Bill.